It was supposed to be a night celebrating the legendary work of the greatest musicians of all time, including Elton John, Janet Jackson, and Pat Benatar, but instead everyone was talking about the scandal that just unfolded between Elton and Meghan Markle, according to those who were in attendance for one of the most epic celebrity showdowns of all time. Here's how it all went. Picture it, the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where all of music's biggest stars were dressed in their best and on hand to honor the greats of the last half-century. Elton has been elected for induction this year in honor of his 5 decades of chart-smashing tunes and took the stage to give his acceptance speech, taking a moment to give a shout-out all of the important people in his life who have helped him along the way. No, usually at these things I like to thank my husband David, my writing partner Bernie Taupin, my record label, my agent, but tonight I have someone very special I need to shout out, Elton began. Meghan Markle, Meghan, sweetie, thank you for ing off back to California and leaving poor old Charles and Wills alone at last. I know it must be really hard for you to not be the center of attention for 5 seconds, so, please try to spare us all your fake crocodile tears at future ceremonies, at least. Yeah. We're all sick of your victim shtick. Thanks again for king off. At this point, the audience gasped in shock. All eyes turned to Meghan, who had gone completely white with humiliation. She looked like she was about to pass out. Elton just smirked and took another drag of his cigarette, clearly very pleased with the reaction. Meanwhile, Harry was gripping Meghan's arm tightly, absolutely beside himself and shooting daggers at Elton with his eyes. I mean, nobody could believe it. Elton John was ripping into Meghan, in front of the entire music industry. The tension was so thick in that room you could have cut it with a knife. And it wasn't over. Elton continued, saying, you see, girls, I've known Charles and Wills for over 40 years, and I've never seen them look more relaxed or happy since those 2 American grifters bailed. Face it, Meghan, you're about as popular over here as coughing on the Queen. So please, do us all a favor, sweetie, and stay out of our ceremonies from now on. Yeah. Ta. With that, he took another dramatic drag of his cigarette, flipped up his sunglasses and strutted off the stage to thunderous applause, leaving a devastated Meghan sobbing uncontrollably into her hands, while Harry looked as if he were about to have a full-on breakdown from rage. I'm going to go ahead and say that my friends at Buckingham Palace, who are expert body language readers, have always told me they've never seen the pair look so utterly humiliated and shell-shocked. Needless to say, all hell broke loose backstage after the ceremony. I'm told Harry absolutely lost it. He was screaming and swearing at Elton for a good 15 minutes, demanding he apologize. But Elton just wasn't having it. He screamed back that Harry should never have dumped the Queen like that and joined their entourages. An all-out war nearly erupted before security broke it up. Both were still absolutely seething as they left through separate exits and, while this was going on, poor Meghan was still locked in the women's bathroom. She was apparently just crying her eyes out. A chorus of Beyoncé and Adele were trying to calm her down, but she was completely hysterical, having a full-blown panic attack. I'm told Harry ended up having to carry her out. She was sobbing that uncontrollably in his arms like a little girl in distress. They jumped in their bulletproof Range Rover and sped off. Photographers had a field day, as you can imagine, but cannot emphasize enough how incredibly humiliated and shell-shocked they were. This is going to be a complete PR disaster for them both, as details of it are published in the next few days. Interestingly, sources close to Buckingham Palace say that the extended family are enjoying the Markle drama no end. I'm told Charles, Wills and the Queen herself are all watching the two burn with an absolutely delicious sense of satisfaction after the way Harry left them like he did. I'm told they're taking a huge amount of private pleasure watching the two get taken down a peg after they really thought that they were so much smarter and better than the institution. Just to be clear, what Elton did was savage. He told the world that the Markles, who had previously been close friends of his, were both completely persona non grata in Britain and within the music industry. This was a complete and utterly public exile and shaming. The fallout has already started. Their high-profile celebrity friendships are dropping like flies overnight as no one wants to get tied to such a radioactive duo anymore. Fashion houses and Hollywood producers are reportedly pulling out of big money deals to work with Meghan. No one will return her phone calls anymore, and even their multi-million-dollar Spotify podcast deal now looks in major jeopardy. For years they have rested on their royal connections and Hollywood star power, but after this humiliation it seems their star is well and truly fading.